We did 50 miles an hour top speed.
50 miles an hour on a mini bike, Sean.
So let's see if we can improve that with the Juggernaut. It's Juggernaut time! Alright, so we got the Juggernaut. We just came back from our speed run. We got 50 miles an hour. We got the new Juggernaut. We're going to slam this sucker on here and see what happens. Come on, Johnny. Johnny, go take your puppets. Take your puppets outside, mister. I'm going to put some gloves on. This thing is hot. There we go. Oh, and just as a reminder, we are going from a 3,000 stall regular 30 series driver.
What's the stall on the Juggernauts?
2,500.
Oh, okay, so you're going for a lower stall.
A little lower stall. Okay. That's it. Juggernaut's on.
All right, let's go test it.
Okay, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah.
Feels peppier. It definitely allows it to rev way higher. Like before, I was seeing like 4,700. Every once in a while, I'd see maybe like 5,000 RPM. On this, I saw 6,500 pretty steadily, and I even saw 6,700 RPM. So I'm not sure what that means, but it feels a little peppier. I don't know if the top speed. Oh yeah, let's look at top speed. Jeez, what am I doing? Let's see what we got. Oh, let's see. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. We only hit 49 miles an hour. It's actually not even as fast on the top end. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. Okay, so here is my bike. Next thing that we got to do is we got the Juggernaut on here, right? It's very snappy from the start. And then it allows the bike to rev really high, but the driver doesn't seem to all the way engage. So it's probably that I have too much gearing on here for how fat that I am. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pulley off, take the chain off, and then we're gonna swap out this 10 tooth back here for a 9 tooth, giving us even deeper gearing than the 10 with the 60. So now we're gonna have a 9 tooth with the 60. All right, so we got the 9 tooth on here. Chain. I might have to take a link out of the chain because the adjusters are all the way back, so that's gonna suck. But we're gonna try it as is, see how it does. I did run this thing. I free revved it, and this torque converter pulley went all the way in the way it's supposed to. So it's only under load when it is having problems. Going all the way into overdrive. So let's see if this 9 tooth makes any difference. All right. Okay, let's see what we did. Something hit me in the neck while I was riding. Hurts like a son of a gun. Feels like a sting, actually. Like something stung me. Alright, so we did 47 miles an hour, so it's even slower. Which is what I figured. You know, you gear up or gear down, whatever you want to say it, it comes even slower, so. But the pulley still isn't all the way at the top. So, But it actually seemed like it got a little bit closer with that gearing. But I want it to go a little faster on the top speed. So we might have to go the other direction, see what happens. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I just got stung in the throat by a bee on that ride. It hurts like hell. Alright, I just got back from a ride. Trying to see what this thing will do. I saw 7,200 RPM, which is the highest I've seen on this thing when I've been on it. But I got back and I'm smoking pretty good. And I look and my valve cover is about to fall off. So I lost one of the bolts. So I'll have to get another one, get that on there. I need to, dang, that's a, I needed to do something. Oh, I wanted to check that valve lash anyways, and I was thinking about putting a different cam in here, so I guess that's what I'm doing. Taking this engine apart and we're checking some things out, but big upgrade. We're going from, well, we already had a 265 cam in there, and now we get this 285 cam, and it is basically the best torque cam that you can get. So it's designed to spin to 7,000 RPM, and it's supposed to have the best mid-range out of any cam. So let's pull this sucker out and take a look at it real quick. But yeah, this is our 285 cam, and the thing that's going to make this swap difficult is that we have to break this cam in with stock valve springs. So we need to take out our dual valve springs that we have in here. This has got some 1.2 NR Racing roller rockers. It's got dual valve springs, fancy retainers, and all this stuff. So, but these suckers are a pain in the butt to get off. So we'll probably pull the head to help assist in that. It still will probably be a pain. That open. Yeah, that's about all I got. I gotta pull this head off. We're gonna have to get in here and get these valve springs changed out. So I gotta find the right ones and some factory ones, and we'll get those installed in here, get the head back on. So we got some stuff to do, got some stuff to pull. Okay, so that's our 285 cam installed. I was warming it up because I gotta lash the valves when it's hot, and I got a new valve cover gasket for it because it's actually leaking. So we're gonna go ahead and get the valve cover off, which is gonna be a pain. Well, not that big of a pain, but a little bit of a pain, and lash those valves, and then we need to work on, we'll put the torque converter back on. That's easy, but we also have our 50-tooth sprocket on here now, so we're gonna have to cut the chain in order to get that on there. So yeah, valve lashing, then chain, and then riding, hopefully. Okay, so we got our valves lashed. On the box it says 3/1000 for the exhaust, 2/1000 for the intake. So that's what we did. And now we're gonna go ahead and clean this up and try to get, I was kind of surprised the valve cover was actually leaking. So at least I think it's the valve cover. Okay, so next step is going to be to get this torque converter back on here. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. This thing looks nasty. We got our driver back on. Next is the chain. But we've got too long of a chain, I'll tell you that for sure. And just as a reminder, we are going to run the, actually, I want to look at my phone because I want to figure out what kind of ratio this is going to be. So, okay, so I did some calculating, and here's my calculations. Probably hard to see. So we can run on a 21-inch tire. It doesn't really matter much right now. It kind of matters for top speed. But for gear ratio, so we started off with a 60 in the rear and a 10, and we had a 6.0 to 1 ratio. And then I swapped to the 9, gave me a 6.77, so a little deeper gauge ratio. Now we're swapping to a 50, but keeping the 9 gives us 5.56. Now we could go back to the 10, but that'll give us 5.0, which I think will be too far. So I think this is a good spot. Hopefully we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this chain chopped, get it set up, get the tensioners all set, and then we're gonna take this thing for a rip. See if she fires up. So far, so good.
Talk to about it. Where to get home.
Okay, so that was definitely our fastest yet at 54 miles an hour. Fairly happy with that. I would like for it to go a little bit more into overdrive though, because it is revving like crazy on the top end. So 54 I'm pretty happy with, but we still need to do some tuning on this and see if it'll go more into overdrive and just cruise rather than, I don't know, being revved out the whole time. So I don't know, we might have to go back with the old driver. I don't know if I like this this Juggernaut or not, so we shall see. Let's go stop. So we just went for a ride with the stock style torque converter pulley back on it with aluminum weights, 3000 stall. And this thing, when it gets to the top end, it's only turned like 5,500 RPM, and it's like lugging hard. With the other pulley, with the Juggernaut, it's turning 7,400 RPM. But it's like too much, you know? So I need something in between. All right. Here at DJ's Hot Rod and Fab, we do the scientific experiments so you don't have to. I just went ahead and took the Juggernaut off and, you know, put the old driver back on, which is just a stock driver with aluminum weights in it. So it has about a 3,000 stall. The back pulley, the driven pulley, is on the tightest setting, but with the red spring, the stock spring. I had a yellow spring in there, so this might kind of change some of the characteristics there, and I might have to go back to the yellow spring if I do end up running the regular clutch again or torque converter pulley. But I just want to see what it feels like, if it feels snappier with this one or this one, if it feels like it's slipping or, you know, top speed. We're going to get all that information here. So we're going to go on another ride real quick, and we're going to get that top speed, we're going to get that information, we're going to get that feel, see, you know, seat of our pants, what this thing is doing, see how it feels different from the Juggernaut. Okay, so this is now driver with the aluminum weights, 3000 stall, stock springs in there. The driven now has the yellow spring set up on the tightest setting. That's what I've found works with this style, is to try and keep it out of overdrive as much as possible, because this one will want to pull it into overdrive and it'll start lugging on you. So we had the red spring on before and it was lugging pretty good at the top. So let's see how this thing does. All right. I don't know. I think I like the Juggernaut better on the top end. This thing just feels so lazy. 49, yeah, it's actually slower with this setup. So okay, I think we're gonna go back to the Juggernaut, but I think we have to go back in and change this spring out because it's too stiff for the Juggernaut, I believe. Okay, so I think I figured out my favorite combination for this bike and this whole Juggernaut setup. So on the Juggernaut's in, I haven't done anything to it because there's nothing you can do, it seems like. It'd be kind of nice if it stalled out just a little bit more, but it's actually fine the way it is. The driver, that's the big difference between the other pulley, between this guy and the stock style 30 series pulley. With the stock style, you need to tighten this thing up as much as possible because it'll just pull it. The front pulley seems much stronger or something, and it'll just pull it into overdrive really easily. On this one, this pulley allows you to rev the motor, keep the motor a lot higher. I'm not sure how it does it, honestly. But it prefers a loose driven pulley. So I actually put the stock spring back in here and dropped it down to the lowest setting, and that seems to be the way I like it the most. That seems to help the front pulley perform a little better by keeping this lighter back here. So this is the setup that I'm liking. So we have the stock Juggernaut, the stock pulley on the lightest setting. We got a 9-tooth sprocket on the front here and the 50-tooth, which came from the Coleman, on the back. And this thing seems to be pretty happy. Does about 54 miles an hour. And I think we are done tuning on this thing for now, which is good because I've been swapping things around and just messing with it a lot. So that's it for this guy for now. We got a big trip coming up, the OG Gambler 500 in Oregon. It's actually not that far from me. It's probably like maybe 2 hours east of here, maybe. But anyway, so we got that coming up and the bike's going out. So that'll be the next time you guys see it, because I'll probably have some footage from that event. So until then, we'll catch you on the next one.